Good afternoon, everyone. With this time that has just come through, we are going through very, very difficult times. And it is but pertinent that we are talking about the most burning topic that is there in every gynecologist's mind. That is the issue of the way Dr. Archana Sharma, arrest warrant was put for her, and the subsequent her suicide, and it has thrown in so many questions. It has brought in so many issues in front of us that every time we have discussions, we are left with desiring to have even more discussions. And without any more to say, I would say that one of the most important things is arresting a doctor. We should all know the facts. We should not panic, but we should know the facts, because it's very clear that you should know the law. There is no excuse that you don't know the law. You don't know what you are in for. And to speak on this topic, on the arrest of a doctor, we have none other than Dr. Sharda Jain, who is the Secretary General of the Delhi Gynecologist Forum. Who doesn't know Madam? Madam has been spearheading this particular issue in all to all of us in all our zones, to bring it forward, to put your thinking caps, bring about discussions regarding the support groups, spread the message across in your own area. And hats off to her, because when we did a CME which had been planned 1.5 months back, frankly nobody was really interested in the CME. All were interested in discussing this issue, and we spent about 1 hour discussing and came out with a good solution for forming a support group. Yes, we all have our local IMAs, but nobody actually knows 1, 2, 3, 4 what is to be done. If tomorrow one person is sitting and she realizes that things are not going smooth and there's going to be a mob at her door, or already a few people have collected, what does she do? She should know exactly. And it's very clear. There's one word which Madam says, which I remember, and I also spoke in the forum, was remember that today it was A person, tomorrow it is B person, the third time it will be you. So be sure that you are also ready to help. The problem is we always think that this is not going to happen to us. But when you see it happened to a person who was sitting right there, not very far away from Delhi. So it can happen to anyone. It can be in a smaller way, it can be in a bigger way, it can be even in a much bigger way than what we saw. So we should all be alert. We should know what we are in for, and we should, we should know exactly what we have to do once a situation like this happens to any one of us. So, without any delay, let me start today's proceedings. And the first very important topic is on the arrest of a doctor. I request Dr. Sharda Jain, ma'am, to please speak on this topic.
I think, Leena, you have spoken, but I want 2, 3 more people to speak their mind about it. I will ask Divya to speak, and I want Shakuntala to speak, and I want Mamta Mittal to speak before, let them air their views a little bit, and then I will come to the presentation. Dr. Divya, what do you want to say? Dr. Divya and Vandna.
Yes, ma'am, I want to say कि इस समय do and die situation का time आ गया है. We have to be united. United we stand, divided we fall. Very old adage, but it now comes true. हम लोग एक दूसरे की backbiting करते हैं. हमारी इतनी egos बढ़ी हुई है कि हम किसी और की बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते तारीफ. अब हमारे को इकट्ठे जुटना पड़ेगा. हमारे को सोसाइटी से अब लड़ना है. लिटरली उनको मनाना है. वो हमसे खफा हैं. वो हमारे को समझते हैं कि हम उनका पैसा भी खींच रहे हैं और उनकी जाने भी ले रहे हैं. थोड़े गुंडे भी लग गए हैं उनकी साइड, क्योंकि वो इस सिचुएशन का अनड्यू फायदा उठा रहे हैं. सो हमें ये सारे के सारे फैक्टर्स बैठ के डिस्कस करने हैं पॉइंट वाइज, व्हिच वी आर डूइंग टुडे. एंड वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉ एंड वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट ऑल वी कैन डू फॉर ईच अदर. आज डॉक्टर ए के साथ हुआ है, कल मेरे साथ हो सकती है ये प्रॉब्लम. तो फिर उस समय मैं क्या करूंगी? अकेले कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता. इतना जबरदस्त मॉब चल रहा है, लड़ाई करता है कि हम एक अकेले नहीं लड़ सकते उनसे. थैंक यू मैम.
Vandana, you want to say something? Vandana?
We should all work hard and try and get a law. Only the law can help us. However much we may be united, but till there is the administration is with us, what can we really do?
Dr. Mamta Mittal.
Unmute
करिए डॉक्टर साहब, अनम्यूट करिए.
Ma'am, the law is already there and we have enough laws, only they are not implemented. So the person to implement them is the first person will be the local SHO. All over again, I will just say, be friends with your local SHO, get to know him, give him due importance. And also your local area politician, the local councillor, get to know them. और सबके घरों के पास एक झुग्गी झोंपड़ी क्लस्टर होता है, उनका एक मुखिया होता है. बी नाइस टू द मुखिया, हेल्प देम, यू नो. वो बिकॉज जितने गुंडे आएंगे वो वहीं से आएंगे, वो उस मुखिया के कहने पे आएंगे.
डॉक्टर ममता, आपने एक बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट बोला, मेकिंग फ्रेंड्स विद द एसएचओ. सो वी गेट अ लॉट ऑफ दीज, यू नो, एसएचओ इज ब्रिंगिंग सम, उसके रेफरेंस से आ गया, उसका पेशेंट देख लो, आराम से देख लो. हम डॉक्टर्स हैं, हम यही तो कर सकते हैं, हम पेशेंट को देख सकते हैं. सो बाय डूइंग दैट, यू नो, वी जनरेट अ लॉट ऑफ गुडविल. And I think goodwill is the first step, you know. We need to make friends with these people.
Shakuntala, what do you have to say?
Ma'am, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Actually, whenever such a mishap happens, we have to understand the gist of the situation. Whenever such a situation has happened, that stillbirth has happened, maternal death has happened, without losing my cool, I did my level best. हम लोगों का सबसे पहले तो हमारा MI हो जाता है, हमारे पाँव के नीचे से जमीन खिसक जाती है. अब जो हो गया उसको मुझे ब्रेक करना है न्यूज. तो जो ग्रीफ मैनेजमेंट है वो एक बड़ा स्पेशलाइज्ड ब्रांच है. वी शुड नो हाउ टू ब्रेक द न्यूज, हाउ टू डू दिस ग्रीफ मैनेजमेंट. आपको अपनी पूरी टीम को अलाइन करना चाहिए कि हु इज द कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप. नंबर 1, हु इज द कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप. और सब लोग आके खड़े हो जाते हैं. हमारे हॉस्पिटल में ये रूल है कि ऑर्थोपेडिशियन भी आ जाएगा, पीडियाट्रिशियन भी आ जाएगा, जो नॉन रिलेटेड डिपार्टमेंट है, कोई ऑनको सर्जन सर्जरी कर रहा है वो भी उठ के आ जाएगा, सब आ जाते हैं. लेकिन सब चुपचाप पीछे यूं हाथ करके खड़े हो जाते हैं और जो कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप है वही ब्रेक करता है न्यूज. और बाकी लोग फिर पानी का ग्लास लेके खड़े होते हैं या पैट करने के लिए खड़े होते हैं. नहीं कुछ नहीं, देखो डॉक्टर्स ने काम किया, बेटर किया. तो मतलब पहली बात, जो पहला स्टेप है हमारा वो सही होना चाहिए. काफी सारी चीजें तो वहीं पे हम लोग डिफ्यूज कर जाते हैं.
I think very well taken point. Any last minute anybody wants to say something before I start my suggestion? Manjusha, you want to say something? Okay. Friends, we all know that all of us are very much disturbed. Very much disturbed by the suicide of our friend Dr. Archana Sharma and then the Dr. Nilesh from the Maharashtra. Now, here I just wish to talk today on the very burning topic, that is arrest of the doctors. One thing is very clear, that whether it is Delhi Gynecologist Forum, whether it is a FOXY or whether it is an Indian Medical Association, they have decided zero tolerance for attack on doctors. I repeat again, zero tolerance for attack on doctors. Because we all feel, and the fraternity which is listening us, if white coat turns red, the country will turn into grave. Any society which has not been able to take care of the doctors cannot progress. As for politicians, there are safety measures. There's a security. There's a security for government officials. There's a security even for an airline's air hostess, that nobody can touch her. A similar kind of safety we should have, that is zero tolerance we should have as for the attack of doctors are concerned. My appeal to all doctors, do not panic. Do not take extreme steps which Archana Sharma has taken. You don't have to do that. This shows that psychologically you're not strong. Do not take it lying down as one of our Maharashtra couple had taken it. The death had occurred. They had beaten him up. He did not even file for 10 days there, FIR. That's not done. Now my appeal to all lawmakers, police, politicians, and citizens of the country. Let's work in peace. Doctor wants to work in peace. If they are pressurized all the time, they can never work in peace. And then they can never deliver 100%. Now, my request to all fraternity members that you should know the law. You should know the laws pertaining to you. Offense under 302 Criminal Act. That is, you have committed a murder is not permissible for doctors. 302 is you have committed a murder, it is for that. That is the offense. And this is not permissible, doctor. It has never happened in the last 30, 40 years of our remembering it. Now, when it comes to 304A, this is the offense normally put against the doctors. Here, they are very clear. There is an alleged charge that either because of rashness or because of negligence, culpable homicide has taken. There was no intention of doctor to murder. In fact, no medical fraternity, doctors or nurses can have any, कभी झूठ भी ये नहीं intentions हो सकती कि for murder. Now ये situation कब आती है? When there is a death on the table, or whenever you lose a patient in a post-operative period, or whenever there is an unnatural death. Now, alleged charge, what does it really mean? It means it is suspected that you have conducted, you've done a negligence, or you have used a rashness. It has not been proved. Arrest is very, very rare. It is always a paper arrest. So there is no point to be panicking. Vertical fraternity feels they have collected, they are going to put me behind bars. It doesn't happen. I say paper arrest because in 304A, it is a bailable offense and can be granted by a local police officer. What is required? You need to call one of your friend or colleague, and the charges for the bail money are 950. And in just 20 to 30 minutes, this particular bail formality can be over. So, I again repeat, it is a paper arrest. No panic should be created in your mind. No panic should be created in your staff mind. There is no justification that they will be put behind bars. No. It's a bailable offense. 304A, all the litigations, criminal litigations against the doctor comes under 304A. Now bail can be granted by paying 950 rupees bail money by your friend or a colleague, and it can be done in a matter of 20 to 30 minutes time by the police officer himself. Anticipatory bail is not needed. In fact, it cannot be granted. As it is a bailable offense, whenever things ये धारा आपके ऊपर लगाई जाएगी तो आप automatically bail ले लोगे in 20 to 30 minutes time. Now here I will give you my own example. Something like 20 years back, a lady, after visiting 3 hospitals, she had anuria, accidental hemorrhage, and she had an IUD. She was absolutely pale. She came to Anand Hospital. And before I came into picture, she was already in theatre. Energetic anesthetist and our juniors. Surgery was done. IUD baby was taken out. Patient had anuria. And, for that, nephrologist took her over. They did repeated dialysis on her. But she succumbed on 23rd day. The relatives were not in any mood to pay any money. They were not justified because nothing wrong was done. Every day she was, it was in the note in the morning and the evening when she was sitting, eating foods, talking to her relatives, except that urine was not, she was not putting out urine. And that she was not putting out urine even 2 days prior to her admission. So I went for an anticipatory bail. And that criminal lawyer told me, Dr. Sahab, आराम से बैठो. कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जब आपके अंदर कुछ होगा, तब हम कुछ करेंगे. Anyway, this body, because we anticipated problem, this body was sent for postmortem. The only request I did to the health minister of that particular time, that please make a board. So it went to Maulana Azad Medical College. 3 professors were there on the medical board. If there is one person, that person can be bought. But if there are 3 people, they cannot be bought. And that time I came to know under 304A, anticipatory bail is not required. Now, erring police officers doing unprofessional work, which you saw in Rajasthan in Dr. Archana Sharma's case. It is very difficult for me to swallow. They did not know the rules. Knowingly they knew the rules and they want to misinterpret it and want to extract money from Madam Archana Sharma's family. The same was doing, these politicians were making a pressure on this police officer, and the local media people were also trying to pressurize the police people to do this particular job. But that police officer knew it very well. He's misinterpreting the rules. Now, what has to be done at that particular time? इस जो ऑफिसर है, लोकल अफसर है, इसके ऊपर भी तो और ऑफिसर बैठे हैं, उनको कांटेक्ट करना चाहिए पूरी चेन को. And here the IMA should do a leading role. Now, what about the case papers? Now, जब भी इस तरह का केस होगा, पुलिस जब आएगी, तो पुलिस आपसे केस पेपर्स मांगेगी. Because documentation is the biggest defense. What we have learned from Dr. Geetendra Sharma is check your notes, recheck your notes. Serial number should be put. If you want to put an additional, कोई काटा कुटी नहीं करनी है. आपने नया पेज, नया जगह के ऊपर डेट लिखो, टाइम लिखो, और जो भी एडिशनल चीज आपको लिखनी है आप लिख दीजिए. आपने पुराने नोट्स को काटना पीटना नहीं है. और जब आप कागज दे रहे हो उनको, तो रिटन एक्नॉलेजमेंट लेना बहुत जरूरी है कि आपने पेपर उनको थमा दिए और आपने उनको जेरोक्स कॉपी थमा दी है. कई बार दे इंसिस्ट ऑन ओरिजिनल फाइल. आई विल से डोंट मेक एन इश्यू विद ओरिजिनल फाइल. ओरिजिनल फाइल उनको दे दो और अपने पास जेरोक्स कॉपी रख लो. आई रिपीट एवरीथिंग अगेन. Check and recheck your notes. Serial numbering is required of the pages which you give. Written acknowledgement has to be taken from the police people, and don't make an issue on the original file. Whether the original file is with them and the Xerox copy is with them is absolutely the same thing. But documentation must be complete. Sometimes the police pressurizes so much, you give the papers. So you write down there, the police officer is not allowing me to complete the papers, so the papers documentation is incomplete. So that particular part also should be there, and the witness should be there on that particular paper when you hand over things. Whatever paper you are handing over, the serial numbering should be done and the written acknowledgement has to be taken. Now, there are landmark judgments, and there are 5-6 of them. You should keep it, get it pasted right in your consultation room, and at 2-3 places in your nursing homes. These are landmark judgments. Jacob Matthews case versus State of Punjab judgment. Here in Ludhiana Medical College, one patient with a heart attack came and the doctor Jacob Matthew advised that oxygen should be given. The first cylinder was brought, it was khali. Dusra cylinder was brought, it was khali. Third cylinder was brought, it was khali. Here the police officer barred this doctor arresting the doctor without an inquiry under 304A. Same way in Mahadev Prasad Kaushik case also, where it was under 304. The police barred from arresting the doctor. And Martin D'Souza's judgment very clearly says that the courts and the consumer forums are not experts in medical science. So a medical report from the local community must be there. Now what is 304? In 304, the punishment, criminal punishment is for culpable homicide. There was no intention to kill the person, not amounting to murder. So very, very clear it is 304, punishment is for culpable homicide. There was no intention and it does not amount to murder at all. 304 is causing death by negligence, which can be rash, or negligence not amounting to murder. 302 is committing a murder. 306 is instigating a person for a suicide. 307 is attempt to murder. Now what is the salient feature? 304A is preliminary medical report by the medical fraternity. All local police officers know this. But now we have to see to it, it comes through from the top, from the police commissioners, it comes to them. And then not only it comes from the top to local Thana, a copy should be given, the photograph should be there, and the photographs of that particular thing, जब आप उनको दे रहे हो, उसकी photograph IMA में वगैरह में सब में लगानी चाहिए. Now, this medical authority is supposed to confirm the prima facie case of rashness or negligence. Who can do it? If there's a medical college local, it goes to the medical college professors. And there I will again say that you ask for a board instead of a single person. Civil surgeon, police surgeons, they can give a medical authority. Now, this Jacob Matthews case, Honorable Supreme Court had smelled that there can be many situations left and right where the anticipated mischief will be played by the local politician, by the pressure of the Gunda politicians, by the pressure of the Gunda media people. They will deliberate misinterpretation of the law will be there in spite they know the laws very well, and or gross misuse of criminal laws against doctors. It clearly provides protection to doctors from criminal prosecution in case of medical negligence. Now, preliminary medical report by the medical fraternity for confirming prima facie case of negligence or rashness is must before anything can be done. Jacob Matthews case of final verdict, the paragraph 53 very clearly says that statutory rules or executive instructions issued by the Supreme Court in these landmark decisions framed and issued should be by the government of India or by the state governments. And so long as it comes from these bodies, then MCI, or which is now National Medical Council, should lay down certain guidelines for future which could govern the prosecution of doctors for offences of which criminal rashness or criminal negligence is an ingredient, like in 304A. So our appeal of the medical fraternity, which is in distress following these two cases, that the robust protection law for the healthcare providers should be brought by the central government. Central Professional Act for Doctor Safety. On the similar lines as it is given to the politicians, to the government doctors, and I quoted an incident that even a lady in the airlines gets a safety that nobody can even touch her. This draft has already been made by the NDA government. Dr. Harshvardhan had told us that this draft has been so strong कि दूसरा आदमी आपका हाथ उठाने के बाद 10 बार सोचेगा. Only it has to be passed in the parliament. जब तक शोर नहीं मचाएंगे, जब तक सड़कों पे नहीं आएंगे, जब तक धरना नहीं करेंगे, सरकार जागेगी नहीं. In the meantime, the implementation of the Supreme Court directives given in Jacob Matthews case in letter and spirit to be followed by police and judiciary. Here you must know that the 17 states have already passed this. And I'm going to show it to you that what they have passed it, what you should do is, what we have done it in the reception area also we have put it. But I think, within the premises, we should have a big board and we should keep it there. Our appeal to all FOXY units, their state units, their district units, they should join hands with Indian Medical Association. Indian Medical Association stands for 10 lakhs doctors who are practicing modern medicine. तो ये हमारे बड़े भाई हैं, हम उनके छोटे भाई हैं. हमको इन्हीं के साथ hand and gloves के साथ काम करना पड़ेगा. And jointly we should do डॉक्टर्स अवेयरनेस. हर आखिरी डॉक्टर को पता होना चाहिए कि ये लॉ क्या है, 302 क्या है, 304 क्या है, 304A क्या है, 306 क्या है, 307 क्या है. डॉक्टर को अपने प्रोटेक्शन लॉज के बारे में जानना चाहिए, चाहे हम उसको पोस्टर लगाएं और वो अपनी दीवार पे लगाएं. लोकल पुलिस को भी ये सारे रूल्स की कॉपी देनी चाहिए एंड वहां की उनकी दीवारों में 10 जगह पोस्ट करना चाहिए. वी ऑल्सो लोकल जो पॉलिटिशियंस है उनकी भी अवेयरनेस करनी चाहिए. एंड वी मस्ट फॉर्म सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स. एक डॉक्टर के चारों तरफ 50 लोगों का दायरा होना चाहिए. 50 लोगों में एटलीस्ट 15 तो लाएंगे. इट इज ओनली द हेड विच मैटर्स. तो मेरी तो आपको ये है कि इस जो सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स में आपके पुराने पेशेंट्स हो सकते हैं, आपके नेबर्स हो सकते हैं, आपके लोकल डॉक्टर्स हो सकते हैं. 50 लोग दिखने चाहिए कि आपके चारों तरफ हैं. We are appealing to everybody here. As far as AOGD is concerned, AOGD has never helped us. आपने इतना सब कांड हो गया, एक भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन इनके ऑफिस बेरर से नहीं आई. दे ऑलवेज लाई डाउन, क्योंकि वो सोचते हैं गवर्नमेंट अस्पताल में काम करते हैं, उनका तो प्रोटेक्शन है. प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर के लिए वो बॉदर ही नहीं करते. So become members of the 9 forums of Delhi Gynecologist Forum. Also become member of Indian Medical Association and jointly create doctor awareness, local police awareness, politician awareness, and form self-help groups. Unity is must. In unity lies the secret. We are very clear, zero tolerance for any violence against the doctor. Violence against the doctors is not allowed. I'm Dr. Sharda Jain. My appeal to every citizen in this country. Already there is a Protection Act brought about by 17 states in favor of doctors. What does it say? किसी भी अस्पताल में तोड़फाड़ करना या डॉक्टर एवं स्टाफ के साथ अभद्र व्यवहार करना, उनके साथ मारपीट करना गैर जमानती अपराध है और इसमें इस कानून के अंदर कार्रवाई की जा सकती है. कानून क्या है? The Delhi Medicare Service Personnel and Medicare Service Institutions for Prevention of Violence and Damage to the Property Act 2008 says ये गैर जमानती पुलिस केस होगा. इसके अंदर गिरफ्तारी होगी, जमानत नहीं मिलेगी, नुकसान की भरपाई 200% करनी होगी एंड सज़ा 3 साल की होगी। आई रिपीट अगेन, गैर जमानती पुलिस केस होगा, इसमें गिरफ्तारी होगी और नुकसान की भरपाई 200% करनी पड़ेगी और इसके अंदर सज़ा 3 साल की होगी। आप सभी सिविल सोसाइटी लोगों को पता होना चाहिए, आपसे अपील है कि अगर आप डॉक्टर्स को चाहते हैं तो डॉक्टर्स की प्रोटेक्शन करनी भी सीखनी पड़ेगी, डॉक्टर्स के लिए रेस्पेक्ट करना भी सीखना पड़ेगा। और जिस तरह से डॉक्टर अर्चना शर्मा का केस हुआ है उस तरह का केस रिपीट नहीं होना चाहिए। दिन रात डॉक्टर्स के अगेंस्ट वायलेंस बढ़ती जा रही है, मेडिकल फ्रेटर्निटी के अगेंस्ट प्रॉब्लम बढ़ती जा रही है, इसको बिल्कुल बंद होना चाहिए। इस समाज में ये मानसिकता आ गई है कि जब भी आदमी मरता है अस्पताल में वो डॉक्टर ने उसको मार दिया, डॉक्टर हत्यारा है। ये मानसिकता खत्म होनी चाहिए, यही आप लोगों से अपील है। सिविल सोसाइटी की तरह हम एक दूसरे को रेस्पेक्ट करना सीखें और इस मेडिकल प्रोफेशन का पूरी तरह से ध्यान रखें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was such a mesmerizing talk, and I mean, you've touched upon everything, and it was wonderful to hear, that while we are waiting for the Central Professional Act for the safeties of the doctors, we must ensure there is implementation of the Supreme Court directives. And the other thing they said, we have to protect ourselves. We should start from today itself, making sure that we have our self-help groups. What we can do at our end, we should start that right away. I think that was I mean, it was so very clear. I mean, I think nobody in this group who has heard you will forget what is 302, what is 304, what is 304A, what is 306, and what is 307. So, madam, that was really a wonderful talk. I would like, if, anybody would like to play some comments or would like to make some remarks. Dr. Mamta, you were hearing?
Is Dr. Geetendra is there? No.
No, ma'am is driving and he is to reach his destination only at 5:30. So he expressed inability.
Thank you, Dr. Leena. There's nothing more to add. Madam has covered everything and has spoken about everything.
So, Dr. Leena, I think Dr. Amrinder Bajaj wants to say something. Dr. Amrinder Bajaj?
Yes, Dr. Bajaj?
You are muted. Unmute yourself. Dr. Bajaj, unmute yourself, please.
मैडम आगे चलो।
Right, then we could take the comments later also. The next, the next topic is very interesting again, case-based, discussions which are on the right and the